I need to thank the 5 men who called me a diversity hire during my interview. I was interviewing for a senior director job at a huge tech company. I walked into the conference room and there were 5 guys in suits sitting around this massive table. They each shook my hand and smiled and told me how great it was to meet me. I sat down and pulled out my folder. That's when the guy at the end said something in Arabic to the guy next to him, and they both laughed. He said in Arabic, "This is the girl they're making us interview because we need more women." The other guy responded in Arabic, "I know exactly her type. Girls like this sleep their way into one decent job and suddenly think they're qualified for anything. She probably spent more time on her back than at her desk." I kept my face blank and pretended to look through my papers. They started asking me normal interview questions in English, but every couple minutes they would say something in Arabic that was absolutely awful. One guy said in Arabic, "Look at her trying so hard. It's pathetic how women always dress up nice and think that makes them good enough." Another one said, "I bet she cries in the bathroom after meetings. That's what the last woman we hired did before she quit." I kept answering their questions like nothing was wrong. While I was explaining a project, one of them said in Arabic, "This is such a waste of time. Women can't handle being in charge of men. The second a guy pushes back, she'll run to HR." I was explaining this huge project that made my last company $3 million, and one said in Arabic, "She's lying. Women don't have the brains for real business. I'm sure some man on her team did the real work, and she's taking credit like they always do." The guy at the head nodded and said, "Girls only get promotions because companies are scared of getting sued. Nobody wants to work with a woman." Then they started planning how to screw me over. The main guy said in Arabic, "Let's offer her 140,000 and tell her that's the max. That's 60,000 less than what a man would get." Another guy said in Arabic, "Perfect. Then she can sit there and look pretty in meetings while Mike actually runs things. That way we get our diversity hire and don't give up any real power." One said in Arabic, "She's going to take the job, realize she can't handle it, and quit within a year anyways. Women don't have what it takes." The guy leading the interview asked me what salary I was expecting, and before I could answer, he said in Arabic, "Whatever she says, we're cutting it by 50,000. Girls always think they are worth more than they are." Then he smiled at me and said in English, "Please tell us what you're thinking for pay." I closed my folder and looked at every one of them. I said in perfect Arabic, "I have a question before we discuss salary. How much Arabic do you think I understood during this interview?" The smiles fell off their faces. I kept going in Arabic, because I understood every single word. I ran global operations for your biggest competitor for 4 years. I speak Arabic, Farsi, and Hebrew perfectly, which you would know if you'd actually read my resume instead of deciding what I was worth based on my gender. The silence in that room was absolutely beautiful. I switched back to English for a second. I closed deals in Egypt, Dubai, Iran, and Israel that brought in over $200 million in revenue. Then back to Arabic. And just so we're clear, I currently make $240,000 at a company that actually respects me, and I have 3 other companies trying to hire me. I only came here because your CEO asked me to himself. I started packing my things. I think I'll call him and let him know how his executive team feels about women. One of them tried to stammer out an apology, but I held up my hand. "Don't bother. You already showed me exactly who you are." I got on the elevator, and before the doors closed, my phone rang. It was the CEO. It turns out he'd been watching the whole interview remotely because he personally recruited me and wanted to see how his team handled it. He apologized multiple times. Then he offered to make me vice president of global business. The salary was $380,000 and came with a huge signing bonus. All 5 of those guys got fired before I could thank them for the promotion.